For hours, David Johnston faced MPs demanding his resignation.
Do you not see how recommending against a public inquiry undermines confidence in our democratic institutions?
What we have recommended and what we intend to do in the next 5 months is to have public hearings.
He's been tasked by the Prime Minister to investigate allegations of foreign interference. Last month, he recommended against a public inquiry. The opposition insists one is necessary and that Johnston is unfit for the job because of his connections to Trudeau. Johnston denies that, and so do the Liberals.
The Conservatives just had a total of 15 minutes worth of questions, and they didn't ask a single question about foreign interference.
Beyond questions of credibility, Johnston was also pressed on the information he used to write his report, including an apparent contradiction highlighted by the NDP with what the former Conservative leader said in the House last week about being targeted by China.
We've got two very different conclusions from a CSIS briefing that Mr. O'Toole is referring to, and then you're stating in your report that there was no clear evidence that it was state-sponsored.
The evidence that we had before us that permitted us to come to the conclusion you've suggested was what was available to us at that time.
Johnston also faced questions in an exclusive interview with Power and Politics about why he did not reach out to former Liberal MP Han Dong before his report. It cleared him of an allegation in a Global News report that Dong had tried to urge the Chinese government not to free Michael Kovrig and Michael Spavor in 2021. Dong denies the claim and is suing Global.
I mean, it feels like he's an important voice to hear from.
Well, we felt that we got both the open intelligence and the classified intelligence that permitted us to come to the conclusion.
While debate rages, Johnston says he intends to start public hearings next month, speaking to intelligence officials and diaspora communities. Rafi Bujikani, CBC News, Ottawa.
David Cochrane is the host of Power and Politics. So, David, if we pull back, look at the big picture here, was there actually any real movement on the critical issue of a public inquiry?
No, it was very clear there was no room for changing minds in that committee room. It all just began with these prosecutorial monologues from the Conservatives and to a lesser degree, the NDP and the Bloc. Then with these defensive interjections from the Liberals when it was their turn to speak, even pointing out that for huge stretches of time, the Conservatives didn't ask a single question about foreign interference and just focused on David Johnston's integrity. And Adrienne, that's essentially what we saw today. Each side trying to score political points against the other, and David Johnston's credibility was the vehicle for those attacks.
So you then spoke with David Johnston right after his testimony. What did you take away from that conversation?
He's not going anywhere. I asked him flat out if he regretted saying yes to the Prime Minister to do this job, and he paused for a minute and then spoke of the importance of public service. And he intends to see this through to the bitter end and believes his work and recommendations will ultimately carry the day. But the question is, will politicians take his work seriously enough so that Canadians can get some serious action on what is a serious issue?
All right, David Cochrane in Ottawa, thank you.
Thank you.